Welcome back to Astronomers Through Time. This is Season 2, Episode 26. Today's guest is Edward Pickering, although for obvious reasons he cannot be here with us live today. Edward Charles Pickering was born in July 19th, 1846, in Boston, Massachusetts. He was a physicist, astronomer, and a pioneer of the stars. As a boy, Edward was fascinated by the stars, and at just 12 years old, he built his own telescope, marking the beginning of a lifelong journey. But he wasn't just an astronomer. He loved mountain climbing, bicycling, and classical music. Pickering was a descendant of one of the oldest and most notable families in New England, and his younger brother, William Henry Pickering, would also become a known astronomer in his own right. And in 1874, he married Lizzie Wadsworth Sparks, the daughter of Harvard's former president. After 5 years at Boston Latin School, Edward realized that he liked science and mathematics more than anything else. So he transferred to the Lawrence Scientific School at Harvard, graduating in 1865 from its engineering department. He began teaching mathematics after graduation, and in 1867 he became a professor of physics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where he established the first physics laboratory in the United States. He encouraged them to design their own investigations and later compiled their work into the Elements of Physical Manipulation, the first American physics lab manual. In 1876, he became the director of the Harvard College Observatory, a position he held for 42 years. It was here that Pickering made his biggest contributions into the field of astronomy. He introduced the meridian photometer, an instrument designed to measure a star's brightness by scanning from north to south along a meridian. This allowed astronomers to determine the luminosity and distance of stars more precisely than ever before. This data became the foundation of the Harvard Photometry, published in 1884, the first major catalog of star brightness. Pickering himself recorded over 1.4 million photometric settings. This catalog was updated and expanded over the decades into what became known as the revised Harvard Photometry. He then launched himself into a massive project to photograph the night sky, building a photographic library using glass plates, hundreds of thousands of them. He founded an observatory in Peru, allowing Harvard to photograph skies previously beyond reach in the southern hemisphere. These images captured stars, galaxies, and nebula over time, providing a visual history. And in 1903, the observatory published the first complete photographic map of the entire sky. Pickering also collaborated with German astronomer Carl Vogel to discover spectroscopic binary stars, stellar systems where two stars orbit so closely they appear as one. But this work came with obstacles. The sheer volume of astronomical data was overwhelming. Traditional methods were too slow, and his male assistants couldn't keep up. Pickering made a controversial decision. He hired women. Today, we know them as the Harvard computers. They recorded observations, analyzed star spectra, and redefined what it meant to be a scientist. Women like Annie Jump Cannon, who would go on to classify over 350,000 stars, and Wilhelmina Fleming, who cataloged thousands of astronomical objects. Working with these women, he helped design a new stellar classification system for stars based on their spectra. This became known as the Henry Draper Catalog. In 1899, he co-founded the American Astronomical Society, helping shape the field of astrophysics in the United States. And when he passed away in 1919, his legacy was already written in the stars. He had served as the Harvard Observatory director longer than anyone before, or since. He had recruited 80 college-educated women to work in a field that barely acknowledged them. And he had created a library of the night sky, one glass plate at a time. Edward Charles Pickering is remembered today not just for what he discovered, but for how he made those discoveries possible.